Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And we're still trying to hook up with Brian Young, the winner, he and his brother, Darin, at last weekend's Lucas Oil National Champions for American Crappie Trail down at Sardis. But let's just swap it around, and who better to come right up with is the guys who've done the three-peat, the Angler of the Year in the American Crappie Trail. And, of course, there's only been 3 American Crappie Trails, and they've won all 3 Angler of the Year. And that's 2 of our favorite people, Steve Coleman and Ronnie Capps. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Good morning, Larry.
Good to have you guys. And Ron Wong, you're ready to interpret if one of them says something I don't understand, right?
Hey,
okay.
Those guys, Ronnie and Steve, can say it all, and everybody will always enjoy listening to them because they are the best, very obviously.
Well, and John Gordon, I know you like to fish too, so you're going to kind of listen into these crappie guys talking about where it's come and where it's gone. And I want to say, I wrote a story. I don't know how many stories I've written about these 2 guys over the years, but I wrote one back about 3 or 4 years ago about them after they'd won at Kentucky Lake. Ron, I don't know if you remember that story. We went into great detail about their friendship, what they mean to each other, what they have been through, particularly Steve in his lifetime, and how they look back. I can remember Ronnie still saying this about his granddad. I can't remember your granddad's name, Ronnie, but I remember you talking about Parker. I think it was Mr. Parker.
Yep,
it's
Mr. Joe Parker.
Yeah,
Jody R. Parker.
Yeah,
He definitely took Steve and I both under his wing, and I'm telling you, I guess we had to give him a whole lot of credit for putting us in the outdoors, hunting and fishing. I
think about that, Steve, and the combination here. Let's talk about Angler of the Year from both of you guys for the 3rd time, and Ron can kind of, because he's Mr. American Crappie Trail on this show. But talk about you guys' relationship and what it means to win Angler of the Year. Go ahead, Ronnie. Talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know what, I'd have to say you got to be pretty consistent and pretty good, I guess, to fish all the events and then come out on top, or a whole lot lucky one. But Steve and I, we've had a good run without a doubt, and had a lot of experience on most of the lakes that we're fishing on the trail, and just so happened we barely edged out the second place team there of Watson and Morgan, and I tell you, those boys, they stayed after them just as hard as we did. It's just a matter sometimes of one bite at the end of the day to put you a little bit further ahead of the next team, and that's getting to be the norm, actually. Come down to one big bite during the tournament or during the 2 or 3 day tournament, whatever. But Steve and I, we've won a lot of stuff over the years, and without a doubt, winning Angler of the Year is a biggie for us. I guess to be able to come out on top after a whole year, it's satisfying for sure.
What about it, Steve? I know you guys and Ronnie kind of touched on it there. I was looking at that, and I saw where Drew Morgan and Kent Watson, they were less than a pound behind you in the final standings down there at Sardis, and you guys.
We've been watching them boys, and I tell you what, they've come a long way, and they have greatly improved. And me and Ronnie had a lot of conversations about this tournament before it happened. With the COVID and all, you got your highs and your lows.
Yes.
And you kind of get pumped up to fish these tournaments, then it kind of lets you down. Then you have to pump up again to fish them again. But Watson and Morgan was a name that was in our heads quite often.
Well, I can understand this, and you guys, I know the friendship goes. Now you guys have known each other. What's how many years? What is this? I mean, you guys.
50.
Yeah.
Near 50 years.
50 years, right? I can say that?
Yep.
Yeah. 50 years.
Yep.
And have spent a lot of time together. And you'd say, well, I think one time you'd had like 76 champions. I can still remember that when I wrote that story. Don't tell me how many he has before then. And I don't know how you got your own garage full of plaques and everything. So I don't know if you have a garage sale, y'all folks expect a plaque in one is Steve's garage or Ronnie's garage. Because these
plaques and the minnow bucket. We call them minnow buckets.
Minnow buckets. Yeah, that's
got a lot of those. Got quite a few minnow buckets. But Larry, you know what?
Right.
I'm telling you, this competition level
yes.
among the whole entire field is closing in. I'm telling you, closing in fast and tight just by the use of the technology that we have these days. It's
Ronnie, I was going to ask you about that. You know, I see the points race for the AOY each year getting tighter and tighter and tighter.
Yeah.
We're starting to see a lot more different teams up and coming because of technology. Yeah. Tell our listeners, what does it mean to have to be able to adapt and learn? Because right now, you and Steve are spending all of your off hours on the water trying to learn this technology.
We're probably at the bottom of the list of being able to be not so hard-headed at trying to update our ways of catching fish. But I'm telling you, we're it's instilled in us to do the natural thing and basically catch fish without any kind of electronics when we started.
Yes,
We've grown through side imaging and 360 imaging, and now we're doing live scoping and all the stuff that's at our fingertips anymore. It's hard to let go of some of the things that you learned as a kid and as you kind of had a gut feeling on. It's hard to let go of that stuff and jump ship basically and depend completely on technology. And that's kind of what we've had to do. We've kind of committed down at Sardis to do that, and that's what we. The first day there, I think the weatherman probably tripped us up more than anybody, but had a good plan, got on some nice fish, and was counting on the wind laying down like they said. And
good luck.
Picked up to about 25 or something.
Yeah.
But we was all rigged out to we was pitching a 3/32 and scoping fish and having to fight whitecaps there. And I was hoping it would always make the calm down like it usually does after a few hours in the morning, but boy, it just kept getting worse.
Yeah,
we had a tough day that first day, so I'm thankful we even made it to past the first day. But after that, we picked up speed by basically increasing weight size and getting baits to fish that we needed to, and didn't do too bad. We just didn't get a big bite.
Well, I know that I'm looking at this, and Brian Young and his brother Darin at 33.24, and you go down to the 20th place with Kent Watson and Drew Morgan at 27.81. That's just 6 pounds difference from first and 20th. And you guys talk about technology, Steve. I know growing up fishing on real foot like that, I don't know what Ronnie's grandfather would think about all this, but this ain't your grandfather's fishing anymore.
Yeah, Ronnie's grandfather, he was a commercial fisherman.
Yeah.
And if he'd had this technology that we have today,
yeah, what?
There wouldn't be a fish left in the lake. I'm going to tell you.
He would get them all, huh? I mean,
he would be out there daylight and dark getting those fish. He would.
Yeah. Well, again, we're talking to Ronnie Capps and Steve Coleman. Three-peat, B&M Poles American Crappie Trail Angler of the Year. And I wanted to give you guys a word. I had hoped Jack Wells, we were hoping to get Jack on this morning with us. Jack was going to be somewhere where there's no cell phone. That might be his den. I don't know. But he said, be sure and thank you guys for what you guys have meant, not only for B&M Pole Company, but for the sport of crappie fishing. Because I know you guys all had a career, Ronnie with the TWRA, Steve, you with the penitentiary up there and everything like that. To do what you guys have done is pretty amazing. And when I look at this thing, you guys were down there. You saw what we've come to, crappie fishing. I can remember when this thing started 3 years ago, and we had Matt Morgan on, and Ron had all these different things. Tell me where it's going, Ronnie. What's to keep up with this stuff?
You know what, Larry? I'm telling you what's getting ready to happen. There's more people than ever gonna establish themselves as a crappie, probably a tournament crappie guy.
Yeah.
And gals as well. But
yes,
just because of the technology, you really don't have to have a granddaddy like we was lucky enough to have. You can punch a button and get out there with a little bit of time on the water and experience.
Yeah.
And find fish. You don't have to have a granddaddy to show you how to do that. So I'm telling you, if you love it, if you love the sport of fishing at all and like to be outdoors and on the water, I just suggest getting some of the latest technology and pay attention to some of the videos online and get out there and play with it. And that's kind of what we've had to do. Just in the last 6 months, we've come so far, it's unreal. And I'm learning more about the fish than I've ever known, too, as well. Just watching their actions and what they'll bite, what they won't bite, and how they react during the spawn versus right now in the post-spawn. I was watching fish this morning, some big, huge fish that just would not bite a hook, and it drives me nuts sometimes. But, all those things are really going to make us all better fishermen in the time to come. And I think to be a better fisherman, get on a competitive level, check out some of the American Crappie Trail tournaments.
Yes.
Enter one. Sometimes you'll be amazed at what you'll learn just with a little bit of pressure behind you out there competing, trying to catch 7 crappie.
Well, what are you doing with all them DVDs you had over the years? Okay, I mean them cassette players. So that's what I want to know. I think you ought to you and Steve just autograph some of those and put you up a stand somewhere in Hornbeak or something like that.
Yeah,
and,
man, we will use those for comical videos in the time to come. I guarantee you, because the times are so different now, and I never thought I'd see the day when I unscrewed my pole holders and put them in the rod box, but I've done that. And,
did you hear that?
Put them back on a time or two, but
well,
fishing with one pole anymore is kind of the norm out there if you're running a scope. So.
Well, it's amazing what you guys have done, Steve. I know that it just congratulations to both of you guys for your efforts and things, and both of you represent the American Crappie Trail so much, and Ron knows that too. Go to lroutdoors.com. Ron has got a picture of everyone that he saw over 3 days in Sardis, okay? Including some.
Several of Ronnie and Steve, too.
I think you can recognize them, okay. But thank you guys for being on Outdoors with Larry Ray again. Always great to have you two guys. Be safe, catch fish, and have fun, okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Headed
man.
Kentucky
Thank you.
yes, Sunday, so we'll look forward to that one.
I want to see what happens. Okay, don't forget to take your camera with you. That Brownie camera works good, so watch it now. So, all right, let's see y'all guys. Thank y'all. Let's take a break. We got Brian Young coming up. Is that right?
We got Darin Young coming up, his brother.
Yeah, Darin Young coming up. Okay, we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.